How bad can it look? Hey guys, and welcome back to another Random Distractions home theater update video. I had mentioned in my Buckeye Fix 2.0 that I came across a scratch and dent amp that was available for purchase, and I wanted to go through the unboxing and to take a look at that dent. In addition to the amp, I also bought a few other small things, which included some banana plugs, XLR to RCA cables, and then a power cable. I did have to move some stuff around as well, and so I kind of wanted to go over that too. Before I get to the unboxing though, I did want to mention that unlike the first amp that I purchased from Buckeyes, where it took months to get in, this one I ordered on April 8th and received it on April 14th. So within a week I was able to get that. However, if I understand correctly, Dylan has mentioned in the forums and also on his website that shipping times have improved, so items are going to be going out a little bit faster now. In addition to being a faster shipping for this one, it is a scratch and dent, so it was actually priced lower than the regular amp, of course, and that came out to be $950 for the 2-channel Purifi amp. Now to the unboxing. I'll start off with the smaller items before getting to the amp. I mentioned this in my other video, but these banana plugs that I got for the height speakers install work so well, I got some more to replace some of the existing ones that I have. I also got some more monoprice XLR to RCA cables. I did want to note that Dylan at Buckeyes doesn't recommend them anymore because they had a bad batch and was causing some sort of hum or noise, which went away when switching to another brand. However, he did say if you already had them and weren't experiencing any issues, then you should be fine. I had already ordered these, so would go ahead and give them a try to see if I heard anything, and of course return them if I had any issues, since I didn't have any issues with the ones before. The last additional item was a longer power cord. Unfortunately, they didn't have that length that I got last time, so I had to get a shorter one, but I'm hoping that it's at least a little bit longer than the one that is provided. Now to the main box. Dylan does a good job of packaging this, which I was thankful for. Since it was a dented item, I didn't want more damage to happen. I mentioned this in the Buckeye Fix 2.0 video, but this did include the 3 additional wire replacements for my 3-channel amp. So time for the big reveal. How bad was the dent? In the picture that was on the website, it looked pretty bad. The first thing I noticed though was that it was smaller than the 3-channel, which makes sense, but for some reason I thought it would be the same size as the 3-channel. Honestly, not sure how well the video does, but unless the light hits it a certain way, it's actually not very noticeable. I was hoping that it wouldn't be too bad since this does have to live in our living room, so I was really happy with that. I went ahead and switched the gain to high since that is what I had done with the 3-channel version. This was also when I compared the power cables, and while it wasn't considerably longer, it was probably about 5 to 6 inches longer than the cable that it came with, which would be helpful for plugging it in. Like I said, I was really glad that the dent wasn't as bad as what it looked like in the picture, but obviously the more important thing was that everything inside worked perfectly, which, you know, Dylan at Buckeye had already checked out, and so that was fine. So now it was time to get it into the TV stand, but I wanted to move the Xbox from the right side to the left on top of the Emotiva Basics A5 so that both the Buckeyes could be on the right side. So when I first moved the Xbox on top of the Emotiva, I noticed that it sat really low. Some of the rubber feet were missing, but even with the ones that were there wasn't really that much space. And I am using the Emotiva now for the high channel, so it doesn't really even get warm because it's not being used as much, but I still wanted to have some sort of ventilation. I remembered that I had some felt pads which I cut to squares and placed on the corners of the Xbox. However, they were light brown and was noticeable when looking straight on, so used a black Sharpie to darken the edges. I also took this time to command strip my external drive to the Xbox. Here's what it looks like in place, and that black Sharpie actually did the trick. As I had mentioned before, I really like the banana plugs that I used when I installed the high channel speakers, and so I had decided to get some more since I was going to be doing some stuff anyway, to replace some more of the ones that I currently have. Here's what they currently look like, and it's a little hard to see, but some of them have lost their shine a little and are looking pretty worn. Speaking of worn, here's an example of how loose they have gotten despite that I tried to bend the tip to help tighten, but they loosen up quickly. It doesn't take much to have them slip out. So I replaced the banana plugs, and they definitely require a little more force to plug in and feel a lot more secure. With everything in place, here's how everything looks in the TV stand. All right, and that's the unboxing and setting everything up. And in person, when you're looking at the amp, you don't see the dent at all. I mean, you really have to like really look to see it. So definitely glad that it was not as bad as what it looked like in the pictures. I'm glad I replaced those banana plugs with the ones that I had before, so because they do feel a lot more secure. And even though that power cable wasn't very long, it still that little bit helped when getting that plugged in. As for the Monoprice XLR to RCA cables, I did go ahead and like turn on some music and then paused it to see if I heard anything, and I didn't hear anything, strange or anything like that. So it looks like I got a good batch. However, now that I have everything in place, I do have to run Arc Genesis again, but I'm going to leave that for a separate video. Somebody left a comment saying that they would like to see the entire process, so I'm going to go ahead and shoot a video of doing the entire thing. I've done it in the past, but I've changed the process just a little bit since then, so I'm going to go ahead and do that and share that in the next video. All right, well, that's all that I have for this video. I would definitely appreciate a like, of course, on this one, and make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when the next one drops. But until then, I hope you have a good one.